But do they fail to recognize the fact that nothing in your book? Can I have a look at this?
Of course, and here's the Urdu edition, by the way.
My God.
A collector's item, since the booksellers of Islamabad have cleared it off of their shelves thanks to the ulema.
And this was supposed to be out in Pakistan.
Last year?
But it's not.
Well, you can find it, I'm told, in some very special places underground, but now I've posted the whole thing on my website free of charge. Just come to irshadmanji.com, click on the free Urdu edition, and read.
The Friday Times here, quote, Manji has in no way abandoned her Muslim identity. What exactly she is refusing to do is simple. She refuses to accept that Islam is a stagnant and unchanging structure. You are talking about not reforming Islam, you're talking about Muslims reforming themselves.
Precisely.
Then what is the problem in that?
You tell me, Imran. And you see, the more backlash people like me get for making the point that Islam has the potential to be humane and thoughtful, it is we Muslims who must have the courage to change. The more backlash we get for that message, the more the backlashers reinforce our point. They prove what we are saying, that it is we Muslims who need to reform ourselves.
So it's not, because there has been this misinformation about your perspective that Irshad wants to reform Islam. And clearly you've said it again and again and again, and you just said it right now even.
Exactly.
The question is that you will succeed in doing that? I mean, if there is this, or do you think that you want to, as soon as you get the people involved, they will help themselves succeed rather than Irshad Manji succeeding in some kind of a...
Exactly as you just put it. You see, a lot of people assume that because I am out there and that I get media attention and I, speak about these ideas without fear, faith without fear, that I must be on a crusade to become the leader of some kind of a reform movement. The truth is exactly the opposite. I actually don't call myself a reformer at all. I call myself a dissident. By definition, dissidents dissent with the mainstream. And what we do is, Imran, we till the soil for the reformers to come later. We create a space outside of ourselves so that those who later step into that space, basically saying what we're saying, will now be seen as much more legitimate, much more palatable and acceptable, because the dissidents have done the groundwork for what can be imagined. And so I'm not expecting or desiring any kind of credit for the work that I'm doing. I know that I, as Irshad Manji, am a small piece in the larger puzzle of the reform of the Muslim mindset. And I'm happy to make my contribution, as small as it is, precisely because the message is that Muslims, women, the poor, anybody who is ostracized, by the ulema, all Muslims have the God-given right to think for themselves. It is those Muslims who will create the reform for themselves. There is the integrity of the message.